Mario Party is a weird game series when you think about it. It runs entirely on multiplayer chaos, yet almost every entry to date has had a single player story mode attached to it. For some reason, just throwing these parties because they're fun is not an option in the Mushroom Kingdom. There has to be a concrete reason for the event, one that usually ties into the theme of the boards. They started out simple and basic, but around the GameCube and DS era culminated in full-fledged world building, only for the Nintendo Switch to downplay it again, with the most recent Mario Party Superstars not having any story mode to speak of. Join me as we take a trip through Mario Party's history, taking a look at the story contents of each and every game. Like I said, we're gonna start simple, with the original game on Nintendo 64 and the last game with a story, Super Mario Party, seeing as these two games have a nearly identical setup. They open with a cast of characters fighting over who should have the right to call themselves the true superstar. Tensions rise and the gang puts Toad, as well as Kamek and Super, in charge of answering the question. That's it, really. It's the origin of why the winner of Mario Party games is always called a superstar, but there's not much more to it. Super Mario Party does introduce 5 gems for the player to collect however, which together form a celebratory podium to crown the true superstar on, but not much more is done with that idea. Things do ramp up over time, with Mario Party 2 being the first to link the story of the game to the themes of the boards. This time around, the game's narrative is presented as a stage play called The Legend of Mario Land. That doesn't mean the characters are done fighting however, as they once again go at each other's throats, this time over the name Mario Land, with each character of the opinion the setting of the game should be named after them. This new world, the first original setting of the Mario Party series, consists of the boards of the game, all themed after different set designs to tie in with the stage play theme. Unique to this game, all characters dress differently based on the setting of the board, tying into the costume design aspect of a stage play. While the cast is busy fighting among themselves, Bowser invades this new world and plans to take it over, prompting the characters to defeat him, with the eventual hero getting to name the land. While it is possible to beat the game with any character, the setting of the game will always be called Mario Land as seen on the menu. While it's still nothing too crazy, Mario Party 2 can at least claim to have its own little narrative and, more importantly, identity, which will become a key word in the design philosophy of Mario Party games going into the GameCube. But first we have the final N64 game to cover, Mario Party 3, aka the beginning of the golden era as far as Mario Party stories go. This is where things start to get really creative and unique, with original characters and basic elements of world building. In fact, the way the start of the story is described in the instruction booklet reminds me of something out of Super Mario Galaxy. See for yourself. In the center of the vast universe, a remarkably bright star was born. It was the star that is born only once in 1,000 years, the Millennium Star. According to the legend, whoever possessed this mythical star was destined to become the superstar of the universe. However, since the Millennium Star was but a newborn, it fell from the starry sky. Around that time, Mario and his friends were all happily relaxing when suddenly the Millennium Star came crashing down. Mario and his friends soon began arguing about who should keep the Millennium Star. Suddenly, the Millennium Star gave off a brilliantly bright flash of light. And with that bright flash, Mario and his friends were transported into a toy box.
Greetings, I am the Millennium Star. You must pass my test to prove yourself worthy of possessing me. You must journey across many lands and collect the star stamps. If you can collect all 7, I shall accept you as the top superstar in the universe.
So yeah, we get an original character this time around, the Millennium Star, undoubtedly inspired by this game releasing in the year 2000. This is not the only new character, however, as the Millennium Star uses its magical abilities to create Tumble, a sentient dice block dude that functions as host of the game. By playing the story mode, the player collects the aforementioned star stamps and battles the other characters, making their way across all the game's boards. Once all stamps have been collected, a final battle awaits, with the Millennium Star itself as the opponent. However, once it's beaten, we are surprised by the biggest plot twist in Mario Party history. The Millennium Star is a fake. But wait, what about Tumble? Well, it is revealed he is actually the true Millennium Star and makes the player's character the superstar of the universe. Roll credits. What an insane story this is. How the hell is a real Millennium Star a sentient dice block created by an imposter? I applaud the devs for including a plot twist in the story mode of a multiplayer party game, but man, I told you things were going to get weird. And maybe developers Hudson Soft agreed they had gone a tad too wild. As for Mario Party 4, they toned things down a little compared to its predecessor. The cast is once again surprised by an object from above, this time a weird floating box known as the Party Cube. Inside, they find a Toad, Shy Guy, Koopa, Boo and Goomba, all of whom will serve as hosts for this game. They were originally ordinary members of their species, a group of friends perhaps, until they one day stumbled upon the cube, stuck in a warp pipe. They pulled it out and, as you do, began carving their own image into the cube, as is revealed through a series of pictures from the game's credits. Over time, they morphed into their host appearances, now collectively known as the Cube Hit 5. During the story mode, it's the player's character's birthday, with the goal being to collect your presents. Bowser then steals the gifts, blah blah blah, not very interesting, so let's instead look at some of the bizarre gifts this game includes, like Luigi's, all of which roast the hell out of him, a shower for Waluigi, and Daisy's table, which was made for her by Goomba. Not sure about the logistics of that, but good for him. A year later, Mario Party 5 was released, making the interesting decision of introducing the Star Spirits as the game's party hosts. This group of 7 stars originates from Paper Mario, where they played an important role in the story. It is incredibly rare for original characters from the Paper Mario series to reappear in other games in the series, so this decision already makes Mario Party 5's approach an interesting one to dive into. In this game, the Star Spirits, mistranslated as Star Guards, are the guardians of the Dream Depot, a mysterious place where all dreams from the Mushroom Kingdom end up. They decide to invite Mario and friends to visit, because they are apparently the biggest dreamers in the world. Really? This random Boo has big dreams? Not the first name I would have considered. Anyway, Bowser ends up infiltrating the Dream Depot, so the goal of the story mode is to stop him from preventing the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom from ever dreaming again. All boards in the game are said to be created from dreams, which is why they all reflect things people dream about, like the ocean, the future, adventure and toys. The exception is of course Bowser's stage, which is a nightmare instead, although it is created from Bowser's dreams in-universe. Back to weird world building now, as we move on to Mario Party 6. This game is set in Mario Party World, which has apparently existed this entire time, where 2 figures throw the best parties. Meet Brighten the Sun and Twilla the Moon, who had a falling out over a discussion who was the most impressive. As they fought, the sky rumbled above the land, prompting Mario to come up with a plan to bring the old friends back together. He wants to do this with the power of the stars, although it is never really explained why the stars will be able to stop the feud. Either way, considering no one else has a better plan, Mario wins by default, meaning the characters visit the boards in order to fill up their star bank. These stars end up being used to fill up the Miracle Book, a nice little pop-up book showing minigames from the game. When it is completely filled up, Brighton and Twilla recognize how badly Mario and friends want them to make up and decide to end their quarrel. What a heartwarming tale. But I can't help but dislike it. The only good thing about it is the random inclusion of these new characters that have apparently ruled over the brand new Mario Party Land forever now. The rest is surprisingly low stakes. No Bowser, no sentient dice blocks. It doesn't hit the same. But fortunately, my complaints were heard, because the next entry in the series, Mario Party Advance on GBA, brought back my main man Tumble. He is the host of the Shroom City mode, a brand new mode intended for single player, and, in the context of the Mario Party series, a completely insane experience. Here, the 4 playable characters of Mario, Luigi, Peach and Yoshi travel to Shroom City to complete all kinds of quests and find gadgets, little toys created by Professor E. Gadd. You could honestly fill an entire video with the many new characters this game introduces. It's honestly more comparable to a Mario RPG game than a Mario Party one in that regard. Just to give you an example, this is Shroomlock and his wife. He works as a detective for Toadland Yard and can be found in every world trying to solve mysteries, such as a kidnapped Yukiki and retrieving stolen goods like a Golden Boo statue. His wife works as a housekeeper and is addicted to gossip, which in the game means she can be spoken to in order to give hints on how to solve these quests. These are just a few examples of a wide cast of characters, including some species who only rarely appear in side games nowadays, like Ninjas, Toadies and Sniffits. It even has a reappearance of Salvo the Slime, a boss from the original Yoshi's Island. So yeah, a character diversity modern Paper Mario games don't come even close to. Now, would I recommend this game? It's fun enough to try it out just for the experience. I wouldn't say it's particularly good, but it's not bad either. Back to the big screen now with Mario Party 7, which may have a lackluster story with no original characters, but my favorite theme in the series. The game's host is Toadsworth this time around, who has invited Mario and friends to join him on a luxury cruise around the world. The only one not invited to the MSSC star is Bowser, which of course enrages the Koopa King, causing him to turn their vacation into a living nightmare. In the game's story mode, the solo cruise, they need to travel around the world, visiting the boards that are all inspired by real-life locations to complete new objectives and kick Bowser out of the country. While the game has a low number of boards, they are some of the best in the series in my opinion, and all based on real-life locales. There's Venice, Egypt, the Netherlands, the United States, and a Chinese temple, as well as a final Bowser-themed board. The collectibles of this game also tie into the theme very well, as you can buy souvenirs from the duty-free shop using miles. These souvenirs are little statues that move when saying surprise into the microphone, which sounds incredibly lame now, but I swear was really cool at the time. Speaking of gimmicks in My Mario Party, onto Mario Party DS. Easily the best entry in the series when it comes to single player content. And that also means an extensive story, the biggest the series has ever seen, although it doesn't introduce any original characters. The game begins with the 5 sky crystals raining down from the heavens. Bowser has his eye on them, and to ensure Mario and friends won't bother him, he invites them to his castle and shrinks them using a magical staff. From here, the cast travel from board to board, all small locales that now appear much larger because the characters are tiny. These include a garden, a library, a music room, Donkey Kong statue, and finally Bowser's pinball machine. What's really cool about this entry is that every board comes with its own boss battle against familiar Mario enemies, like a now massive Piranha Plant, Dry Bones, Hammer Bro, and Kamek. At each of the boards, you collect one Sky Crystal, and after defeating Bowser, all these 5 magic items merge together to create a Nintendo DS, containing a new minigame called Triangle Twisters. The game then ends with Mario, his friends, but also Bowser, enjoying the game together. Well, I wanted plot twist back, at least I listened. I didn't see that one coming. Next on the list is Mario Party 8, the first one on the casual haven that was the Wii. This is the first Mario Party in 4 entries to introduce a new original character, and up until the making of this video, the last one to do so. Our hosts this time around are MC Ballyhoo and his sentient head Big Top, the 2 ringmasters of the Star Carnival to which Mario and friends are invited. They participate in the Star Battle Arena for the grand prize of a year's worth of candy. When it's time to crown a winner, another prize is suddenly introduced, being the Star Rod, a special item which has no relation to the object of the same name from Paper Mario. However, they do have in common that Bowser is after them, as he appears and steals the magical item. This introduces the final board, and upon completion, the coronation can be completed as the credits roll. Unlike previous Mario Party entries, the Carnival theme of this game is not at all present in the boards themselves, which is a sharp departure from the previous course and something that hasn't been corrected since. In fact, the games following 8 decided to ditch overarching themes altogether. That said, the boards in Mario Party 8 are really good, something I really can't say for the games we have left to cover. The first of which is Mario Party 9, which may not have introduced a new character, but did decide it was time for coins to get a revamp, one that surprisingly enough stuck around for several entries. This game revolves all around mini-stars, small rainbow-colored stars that Bowser has been sucking up using the space equivalent of a vacuum cleaner. Of course, Mario and friends can't let that happen, so they travel through several boards using that stupid car thing to stop Bowser up in space. Effort levels have really fallen off a cliff at this point, I'm sad to say, and things are not looking up. A year later, the 3DS got Mario Party Island Tour, the final game in the series to receive a story that wasn't a rehash of the original. Once again, the game starts at Peach's Castle, which has been a frequently featured locale in the past few games, interestingly enough. Leaves you to wonder what Mario Party Land is up to, huh? Well, we won't be getting closer than this, as the cast are invited to the Party Islands for some fun. Bowser is once again not invited, making him want revenge and seeking it in the power of bubbles. Yes. He puts the fun activities of the island in bubbles and then also creates bubble clones of the playable characters to stop them. The single player mode of this game revolves entirely around Bowser's Tower, his abode for the occasion. There are however no boards in this mode, only minigames, which I guess is a blessing in disguise considering the board quality in this game. But all jokes aside, it's a sad way for story modes in the Mario Party games to go out. Sure, they were only sparingly good, but I have always found it fun how far the developers went with injecting new characters, themes and stories into the many titles to give each of them their own identity. We haven't seen anything like that for over 10 years now, and while I definitely think the Switch titles are better than for example Island Tour, I do feel the last, say, 4 entries have been depending on nostalgia too heavily. That could work if you go all out, but less boards than the Nintendo 64 original is not going all out. But hey, that's a discussion for another day. For now, thanks for sticking with me on this silly little trip, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel to stay up to date about all my upcoming Mario content. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you again next time.